BMW was among the first premium automakers to realize that if they put their logo on a non-car, aka utility vehicle, aka sport activity vehicle, in other words known as an SUV, well, they could make a lot of money. And shortly after the X5, well, BMW figured out that they could make even more money via volume if they introduced something slightly smaller. Thus became and was birthed the X3. In fact, so popular has the X3 become that it has recently become BMW's best-selling model globally, and with reason. I mean, sedans ain't so cool no more, and everybody wants an SUV, and this has been a growing trend for well over 15 years now at this point, maybe even longer than that. Well, in Canada at the very least, it has been the best-selling model, and it was so in 2024. And I suppose, coincidentally, to celebrate the success of the X3, well, for the 2025 model year, BMW introduced the all-new fourth generation of its highly popular compact SUV. This segment is excessively competitive. Every premium automaker, minus the hypercars, has something in this segment. But I think, maybe give Lamborghini and Bentley a little bit more time, and before you know it, they'll have a compact SUV too. I mean, even McLaren has an SUV on the way, so maybe they'll have one too in the next few years. Who knows? But what I do know is that this was a delicate operation. Because essentially, yes, the X5 and the X7 are the premium flagship bearing models, but this is the one that creates volume. So redesign had to be carefully done. And in a strange way, at least for me, they went overboard. It's kind of like they took a page out of Kia and Hyundai's, model revamp book, where they have to redo everything just to create a differentiation and, well, by default, age the previous generation model. Now, obviously, it's maybe not that extreme because you can immediately recognize that this is a BMW, and just given its size, it could be the same size as a 20-year-old X5 at this point, but no, it's now big. In fact, it's a little bit bigger than it previously was. I'll tell you a little bit more in the following video. But in a nutshell, the X3 will continue to be an extremely popular model over at BMW because it essentially ticks every box. Most of the issues are only personal with this model. And I guess I'll end the introduction on that and invite you to walk around with me, walk around this all-new 2025 fourth generation X3, and then we're going to go for a drive. Alrighty, so styling. I'm going to tell you right away, this is the non-M Sport package model, and that's probably visually what is the most, well, damaging is kind of a strong word, but makes it look maybe a little bit too soft visually. Yeah, I guess I'll just jump right into design. I think my biggest issue is the height between the wheel well and the top of the hood. There's way too much real estate there, and it really looks awkward, at least as far as I'm concerned. And those are 19-inch wheels on there. Maybe with 20s it'll look a little bit less weird, but that just doesn't work for me at all. As we walk around, I guess, same thing with the rear end, but, well, not the same thing, but the point is that there's not enough going on. It looks like it was chopped off, or they ran out of ink when they drew it. I don't know. But having said that, like I said, it's a very, very personal opinion. Overall, it's not entirely bad looking. There has some good angles. One of them being, I guess, right here. That's not that bad. I mean, it looks like it's got a big butt, but it's very normal. Okay, enough of that. In the US, base price for the X3 30 xDrive is $49,950. The M50 xDrive is $64,700. Canada, well, $59,700 for the base 30 xDrive. So there are no more eyes. As you may or may not know, BMW is really focusing on leaving the eyes for its I series of electric cars. And the M50 xDrive is all of $75,900 to start. But I mean, that's the big 393 horsepower M version, I guess we could call it that. Okay, so what you do get with the base model, it's fairly well equipped. Admittedly, it's got just about everything. So it's got comfort access, meaning that it has smart keyless entry. It's got a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster. It's got a 14.9-inch touchscreen display, a panoramic glass roof. Doesn't open, but still glass roof. Got a number of other features. This one, the tester that I have here, is first of all Arctic Race Blue, which is another lovely color. It's an option. It's got the premium package with the lumbar support, heads-up display, and a few other features. Harman Kardon audio. It's got cooled front seats for a grand total of about $67,500. I don't know anymore if that's a lot of money for what it is or if it's not a lot of money. Nothing makes sense to me anymore. I'm warming up, I guess, to this styling. Definitely the $5,000 M Sport package. More aggressive bumpers and a little bit more of a definition, nicer wheels, a little bit more aggressive grille. All of the above would definitely help kind of spruce up what should be a very sporty, well, it is to drive. I'll tell you more about that in a few minutes. I think we've done that part of the tour. Power hatch, as you'd expect. So there you go. That's like the new, whoops. That's the new badges, if you will. X30, X3 30. Kind of weird, huh? When you look at it quick, 330. Anyhow. Trunk, 570 liters of space. It's actually fairly decent. It's far from being the largest in the segment, but you can definitely fit, maybe into the hole there, maybe a golf bag across, maybe even two if you use this opening there. Very decent, very usable trunk. Very quiet hatch operation. Oh, what's wrong? There we go. Thank you. Why are you not cooperating? Ain't technology grand. Okay, so this is where it gets really weird for me. I don't understand. This must have been less expensive to manufacture and install than just nice quality plastics, because this is just too much. Like visually, I usually like different surfaces and colors, but this is off. It doesn't work, but that's just aesthetics. Because what does work is the back seat. It is obviously not the largest in the segment, but still, for two adults across, it really works, and the kids are having plenty of space. Not much between the two seats for another human being, but I guess that's pretty much it for the rear. Now up front, again, I do like textures in like cloth surfaces, but they should have cut it off there. There's just too much. And this is a very worrying trend for me, where you have a lot of controls on the doors, not just the seat controls like you would in a Benz, for example, but I like the Q5. The new Q5 has way too much going on the door handles. It should be on the dashboard where it belongs, but otherwise, good door bins, everything is fine. I mean, fine, I don't know. Even the quality of the plastics is kind of odd. When we slide aboard, so there's a shot of the 12.3 and the 14.9. Let's get it started. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. What is all of that? Is it really truly necessary? And all this design stuff, business going on there. I don't know. It seems like a poor selection or choice of materials. And this too. This is what I mean by going way over the top. I like stuff that's not entirely symmetrical. I do appreciate that. But this just doesn't work. This is a nice touch. I'll give it that. But this is ridiculous. I don't know, if you get a shot, I guess the sun's kind of, well, there we go. I don't know. It's unique. I'll give it that. But it's not quite as premium as I think BMW wants us to think. Anyway, moving along. 14.9-inch screen is actually quite nice. The important things are drive mode, so you have your personal, which you can configure. Yes. And I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go back to my modes. I got this. Okay, so you got sport, you're efficient. That works out really nicely. The home button is very nice too. I mean, it's fairly functional once you know where you're going. The screen is actually quite responsive. Bunch of apps. This is kind of interesting. exterior camera, so if you want to see yourself, there you go. That's, my goodness, I don't know why I'm so red. It's the sun. But okay, enough of that. That's pretty horrible. Sorry about that. Display screen does have a number of little configurations that you can switch with the content there, and through the drive modes it actually changes as well. Like other BMWs that I've driven recently, I mean, that's a very small button in order to access the heated steering wheel. Cooled seats are an actual option on this model too. What else can I tell you? The typical wheel. I guess that's about it. Speaking of wheel, I love the steering wheel. Look at those thumb rests, are huge. I love the flat bottom. It's not round. It's a really, really lovely grip. And yes, of course, paddle shifters as you would expect in a BMW. And I think that's about it. It's time to go for a drive. All right, so new 4th generation BMW X3 has received a number of upgrades, of course, as expected. One of them being in the powertrain category. The 30, I stopped myself just before saying the 30 is still a turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, but for 2025 has received a 48-volt mild hybrid technology. It's a Miller cycle engine as well. So all in all, output is up. So up to 255 horsepower now and 295 pound-feet of torque. And the thing with the torque is that it's on from 1600 RPM all the way up to 45. And then all 255 horsepower come in at 4700 RPM all the way up to 6500 RPM. So what that means is that this 4,200 pound smallish compact SUV actually really moves. It's surprising me. It's been 6 days since I picked up this SUV, and I'm still, I don't want to say in awe, but how much it kicks. It's really impressive. I mean, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour only takes 6.3 seconds. Not the fastest. I mean, it's no M50, which will do the same sprint in like 4.6 seconds, but you know, this is the 4-cylinder version. But it's really, really quick. And the 8-speed automatic transmission has been my best friend all week. I mean, you know, I like to have fun with these vehicles. It's only 1 week at a time. And despite the fact that this is just an X330, I still like to enjoy it. That may partially explain why I'm averaging about 9.2, 9.3 liters per 100 kilometers versus what NRCan tells you can expect, which is about 8.1. So, you know, you shuffle that around a little bit and you figure, yeah, I think 8.5 is a real number, real attainable fuel consumption figure for the new X5. I mean, the Germans are typically pretty good and very accurate when it comes to fuel consumption numbers. And look, essentially, and I kind of said it in the introduction, it's just the aesthetics that kind of bother me, because the drive, the power is good. Steering is quite nice. I mean, the i4 reminded me of, well, kind of showed me that modern BMWs can be fun and do have some of that DNA that has evolved into, you know, the first quarter of the 21st century. The X3 being smaller-ish and lighter-ish than, say, the X5, still remains nimble. It's agile, likes to be tossed around. Steering response is pretty good. Really have nothing negative. Here we go. A little bit of power. It's really amazing. I'm enjoying this way too much. I was talking about steering. Yeah, steering is better than decent as well. And it's responsive. The weight is nice, and it changes too with the drive modes. Compared to the X5, which I recently drove, I mean, this is still a far more engaging driving experience than Audi. Audi brings maybe a little bit more of that luxury feel to it, a little bit more of I don't want to say refinement, because this is still really, really nice. But you know what? I'll use refinement. It's just a little bit classier in the Audi than this, the driving experience. But this has a little bit more vim and vigor to it. Brake pedal feel is really nice. I have nothing to complain as far as that's concerned. And the ride quality is good. It's surprisingly good over these horrible, horrible roads in the greater Montreal area. In the segment, I mean, I just mentioned the Q5, which I actually quite enjoyed. It wasn't perfect. A few things that I don't like. If you want to find out more, you have to go and watch the video, read the review on motorillustrated.com. But I mean, you know, if you take, say, a Lexus NX, this has got a little bit more personality to it, but you know, it depends on what you're looking for. I'm still a fan of the Cadillac XT4, though its days are numbered. What does that leave? The BMW, the GLB is still quite nice, but really expensive for what you get. I'm not a big fan of the Volvo XC60, though I love Volvo. What am I missing? I don't know. I haven't driven the ADX, but the ADX would be a notch below this, more of an X2 fighter. So the RDX over at Acura, I like it, but still tough to beat. You know, the three-pointed star, the BMW logo, or even the four rings. For that reason, I mean, in the segment, despite what I think about the styling, it remains one of the more interesting models. And I'll leave it at that.